Hello students, today we are going to discuss some more numericals from chapter 2nd of 11th chemistry. So the first question is, how much calcium oxide, that is CaO, will be produced by decomposition of 5 gram of calcium carbonate, that is CaCO3. Now, only this much information is given to us. So to solve this problem, we need a balanced chemical equation or a balanced chemical reaction. So let's get into it. So in the problem, it is given decomposition of CaCO3, which means calcium carbonate is going to decompose or calcium carbonate is going to use, which means it comes in the reactant side. Decomposition is in the presence of heat. So we will write a triangle above an arrow. Then what is going to produce? That is CaO, calcium oxide is going to produce. Okay, this much information is given. Now, if we have to balance the reaction, what we can see? Calcium 1, calcium 1. Oxygen 3, oxygen 1. So we need 2 more oxygen here just to balance the reaction. And what about this carbon? There is 1 carbon in reactant side and there is no carbon in product side. So we will add 1 carbon at product side, which we will get CaCO3 at reactant side, CaO and CO2 at product. So CO2 being a gas, we will show it by upward arrow. Now let's see. Then we have to calculate the weights. Okay. So for calcium, it is 40. For 1 carbon, it is 12. 1 oxygen, it is 16, and there are 3 oxygens. So we can write 3 into 16, or you can directly write the value. So if we calculate all these things, if we do the math, we will get 100. Okay. 40 plus 12 plus 3 into 16, you will get 100. So I will consider it as 100 parts. Okay. Similarly, if we are going to calculate for this, calcium being 40, weight is 40, and oxygen being 16. 1 oxygen, weight is 16 or mass is 16. That is nothing but 56. I will write 56 parts because we don't know what 56 is or what 100 is. Okay, so we can write 56 parts. And what about CO2? So there is no question about CO2, but let's solve it. 1 carbon, that is 12. 1 oxygen is 16, and there are 2 of oxygen. So 16 into 2, which you will get as 44 parts. Okay, 44 parts. Now you can say that from decomposition of 100 parts calcium carbonate, you will get 56 parts of CaO, that is calcium oxide. And you have asked about 5 gram of calcium carbonate in your question. So if 100 calcium carbonate gives 56 parts of calcium oxide, then what about 5 grams of CaCO3? Question mark. And I will solve it here. That is 56 into 5 divided by 100. If you solve this further, you will get 2.8 gram of what? CaO, that is calcium oxide. Okay. So your question was, how much CaO will be produced by decomposition of 5 gram of CaCO3? And the answer is 2 gram calcium oxide will be produced by decomposition of 5 gram of calcium carbonate, that is CaCO3. Now see the second problem, which is again similar, but here you haven't given formulas of the compounds, that is calcium oxide and the calcium carbonate. So you have to keep in mind that also. That is calcium oxide is CaO and calcium carbonate is CaCO3. Problem is again similar, just values are different. And one additional thing is they have given you atomic weight, calcium, carbon, and oxygen. So in previous numerical, there wasn't given any atomic weights or any values, but here you have given the atomic weights. Calcium is 40, carbon is 12, and oxygen is 16. So again, solve it in similar manner. Just we have to write the chemical reaction first, which is calcium carbonate is going to decompose, right? Or here the words are used, what weight of calcium oxide will be formed, means calcium oxide is the product. So you can go in another way as well. So calcium oxide is the product. By heating calcium carbonate, how much? 19.3 gram of calcium carbonate. So calcium carbonate is the reactant, heating, and calcium oxide is the product. And again, CaO will be the byproduct because same reaction is here. No need to explain it again. So calcium is 40, carbon is 12, and 3 into 16. That is one oxygen is 16. There are 3 oxygen. So here you will get 100 parts. Okay. What about CaO? 40 plus 12. Again, 56 parts. If you want, you can calculate of CO2. In this point, in this part, I'm not going to calculate about CO2 because CO2 is not asked. Then what is asked? 19.3 gram of calcium carbonate. If 100 parts calcium carbonate gives 56 parts of CaO, then 19.3 parts will get how much of CaO? Similar math you have to do. 56 into 19.3 divided by 100. If you solve this, you will get something like 10 point something 7 or 8 approx grams. Okay. Thank you.